Yeah, I have a question. So when I see you, you are incredibly confident. Have you ever have you ever been shy or
Never.
experienced social anxiety?
Never. I was born this way.
Okay, so easy.
No, I was extremely shy and anxious. Yeah, for many, many years. I'm by default introverted, and anyone who's into the whole personality test, like Myers-Briggs, I'm INTJ. That's me. Yeah, no, my default is introverted, which, yeah, I'll give you a quick little summary, and we can go a bit deeper on stuff. But no, I started working on myself in 2006, so almost 20 years ago. I'm originally from Switzerland, Lausanne. My mom's American. That's why my English is so perfect. But growing up, everything was français. Mes études français, tout était français. Regarde, je parle français, je comprends tout. Ah, j'ai perdu pas mal le français. J'ai un peu l'accent anglais maintenant, mais non, tout était français. And I was extremely shy, super, super shy. At school, didn't have many friends. I was not the total outcast, but I was at the bottom. I had one area where I could express myself, which was music. So I had one really good friend in school where I'd play guitar and him too. And through music, I could be super confident because it's through the music. But me, no way. When I first started working by myself, this is 2006, I was 18 at the time. I gave myself a simple challenge because I had so much anxiety where, I couldn't, if we went to the restaurant, even with my family, I couldn't ask the waiter for water. So can I have some more water? I'd be super shy. And even within my family, if it was a Christmas dinner or going down to dinner, I'd have anxiety speaking up at the table, which is insane. I'm like, that's my family. Why can't I speak up? So my challenge was simple. I went out in the streets of Lausanne, and I said, I'm going to ask an old person for the time. That's it. Easy, right? Hey, excusez-moi, quelle heure est-il? That's it. Could I do it? No. I would walk down those streets, and it would be 2 to 3 hours at a time, where I'd walk down, I'd make sure I was not wearing a watch, and I would see, I would first of all pick my targets carefully. And I thought, who's the most innocent, easy person to ask the time? An elderly person, an old person. Male, female, doesn't matter. The oldest, weakest looking person with a cane or in a wheelchair. Ask them for the time. Because what are they going to do? So I would see them, and I have flashes now where it's I was walking down the street, and suddenly I see, there's an old person coming. So I'd prepare, you got this. And they'd get closer and closer, and the anxiety would rise and rise. And all I had to do was, excuse me, what time is it? And they'd be last minute, and I'd choke, and they'd pass. Now, as soon as you don't do it, what happens? The self-attack. Idiot, you loser, you can't even ask for the time. But I wouldn't give up, so I'd turn around and I'd follow them. And super weird, but for real. So I'd follow them inside. I don't know if you have this in France. Yeah, fully, yeah. There was in Switzerland, there's Globus, Manor, things like that. And there was the perfume stuff and stuff. And I'd follow and be hiding between the thing, following. And the people who worked there, they were probably what the fuck? Because I was not looking normal. I was following this old person, and I could not ask. For real. That's where I come from. That's my background. I could not. And it took 3 months to finally ask someone for the time. Yeah. No, I was what people call a hardcore newbie. All of you are better than me. I would not show up at an event like this. And if I did, I'd be at the back. And as soon as I would see the person on stage calling people out, I'd be out of there. And I'd be at the back with a cap and a hoodie and hiding every part of my face. Super, super scared. So that was my conditioning, for real. And I went through this crazy journey of one, in Switzerland, just progressive desensitization. That was my first phase, which is, hey, just talk to people again and again and again and again. That doesn't get to the cause, though. All that it does is it taught me how to fight self-sabotage really well. So the anxiety you saw, with you or with you coming up, it's say I taught you, here's how you beat it. So it's teaching you how to beat the baby. Super fucked too. But you can get, that's most advice out there. It's, hey, don't be a pussy, And you get good at fighting it, but at a core, it was always like I was playing this character and I could never truly be me. And I got good at that. And if that's you, also analyze your strategy, meaning, is that going to be how you're, like, if you have to do anxiety challenges and that's your foundation of confidence, you're going to have to do that forever. You realize that. Because if you stop, you revert back. Audit for all of you. Any result you get, if you stop doing the action, you should be able to keep it. If you revert back, you're screwed. So unless your strategy is when you're a grandparent, like 80 years old, you're like, sorry, grandkids, got to do my challenges, then I can talk to you, then you're fucked. So that was me. Then that did give me enough confidence where I then moved to Los Angeles. And then things started picking up from there. But no, you would not recognize the old me. And I wish I had more videos of the old me. And that'd be something for all of you. Film yourself now or take some kind of inventory of when you are anxious and when you're at the beginning of your journey. Because you'll look back at that and that's like gold. Trust me. Like, I wish I had so much more, because people like you, they're like, well, you were always like this. I'm like, no, not at all.
Yeah? This is Julien. Welcome to my blog. One more take. I'll be updating it regularly with... This is Julien. Welcome to my blog. I'm here in Los Angeles right now on the rooftop of my... This is Julien. Welcome to my blog.
How do you keep the confidence about one thing that you arrive to do and to not lose after when you stop? Because this is important to keep. How?
Well, think of it as like most people live in an elevator of confidence, right? So here's you. And there's different things that can push the buttons of confidence. So for me, I wanted to be up here, so I knew that if I took enough action or got enough proof that I wasn't going to die, it would boost me up. People might use alcohol as ways to, you could say, spike your confidence, shoot it up, right? You might use success, you might use money to shoot it up. But then, if you don't have the thing that's shooting up, you fall back down. Another way of viewing it is most people are down here, they want to be up here, right? Say, I'm low confidence, how do I be confident? And they try to chase it. Now, actually, there's a worse strategy, which is, what do most people do? I'm down here, I want to be up here. I'm not confident because I feel below others. But you know what I can do? If I bring others down below me, now I'm confident. And you'll see a lot of advice like that. It's like, here's something you can say that'll make someone feel insecure. Here's how you get someone to doubt themselves. Little backhanded compliments. So it's bringing people down so then you feel confident. Incredibly toxic. So most people are here. How do I become confident? If I have the money, if I take the action, if I have the success, if I have the friends, if I have the experience, if I read the books, if I do the courses, But it never works, because the more you try to be confident, what are you telling yourself? I'm not confident. Yep. Only someone who believes they're not confident is trying to be confident. So you never escape that cycle. Hey, I need to do the action to be confident. The same as someone who's like not happy. I need to be happy. I'm not happy. So the biggest shift for me, I call this optimizing. So I got really good at this too. And through all that action, I got the money, I got everything. But at a core, I still felt not confident because it was all built on that foundation. The same with a breakup. If you're taking action to get over your ex, what are you reinforcing? Your ex. Anyone you date after the ex, say you're comparing them to the ex, you're keeping the ex alive. So the biggest shift is replace, so this was me, it's the what now paradigm. I'm not confident, what now? Nope. Replace what now with why. Okay, why am I not confident? And it's not this what now, because what now is assuming that it's a static. Instead, it's why do I assume that I'm down here? What are all the things that are reinforcing this? Perhaps the conditioning, the experiences, trauma, rejection in my childhood, et cetera, and all of that is saying you're down here. Well, then instead of trying to be up here, identify what's keeping it down here, let go of all of this, and then it's a constant. Does this make sense? That's why I keep saying letting go. All of this is letting go, removing. Now, purely when it comes to social stuff, then there's some things to be aware of too. Like we talked about, relatability, learning how to read people, make sure it connects, but that's more analytical skills. Basic skills like confidence, anxiety, self-expression, being unstifled, those are emotional skills. And emotional skills have to do with letting go and unlearning, not learning. The same with reflecting back. You weren't born down here. You weren't born not confident. You were taught to be not confident. You were raised in the cult of I'm not good enough. Deprogram it. That's letting go. So a big one is, when did it start? When did you start forming this shell? When did you go from being a kid, loud, speaking your mind, saying crazy things even that don't connect, to suddenly, people are staring, people are judging me, oh no, I gotta fit in, close off. Maybe at school, oh, people laughed. Well, based on your limited perspective as a kid, the classroom's the world, I don't fit into the world, I'm gonna get kicked out, I'm gonna die, got to adapt. And then the same with the baby example, you take parts of yourself and you stuff them down. Suppression, repression, you disown it. And then you just start acting through this. We all create, like at a core, that's what we all do. We create this split within. Right? Here's you, I'm good enough. Love myself, right? I'm whole, born this way. As you grow up, split, acceptable, unacceptable you. What is a strategy for most is we all have this split. The bigger the split, the lower your level of self-esteem. But the way we tend to go about it is through this. Well, what if I amplify the acceptable? Let's throw approval, money, success, etc. And then you have the anxiety where there's always the fear of someone seeing through all that and seeing all the unacceptable shit. And it doesn't matter how much you amplify this, you're compensating for that. And it doesn't matter how much you compensate, you're still compensating, so you never actually feel whole. In reality, it's dissolving this and you could say, being all that is you. Now then you can get into the whole logical breakdown, which is like, okay, well, how do you identify what you disowned? Then you could view it as another model. You could say, let's put it this way. Here is the conscious mind. All this here is the subconscious mind. What you're aware of, what you're not aware of, right? Right now, what are you aware of? Me. If I ask you, what did you eat for breakfast? Now, you're aware of it, but it was out of your awareness before that. So in the furthest depths of what's out of your awareness down here is all this stuff. Which is why you've probably heard in the self-help world, there's what you know, there's what you don't know, and there's what you don't know you don't know. That's the gold. So all these things here, you place them so far out of your awareness, you don't even know what's down there. And that's the first challenge. You want to let go and dissolve the split, got to first become aware of what's down there. So this is where things like getting triggered, because there's layers of resistance, shoot something up. Most people avoid the trigger. What did I say here? Lean into the trigger, because it's easier to catch it up here than down there. Things like shadow questions, introspection. There's different missions you can do or give yourself. Like even social anxiety missions are great, not to desensitize yourself, but to poke at what's down there to let go of it.
Now, before things start getting intense here, if you're looking to go through a similar process yourself and receive direct feedback from me personally, no matter where you find yourself in the world, then click the link below this video right now and apply for online coaching. This is my signature program, so click the link and I'll see you in there.
Most people who ask for help or who might come to you in your life say, hey, or vent, there's this thing and this thing. They don't want you to help them. They just want to be heard complaining, and they want you to validate their complaints. And if you were to actually help, they would even get pissed off. Like, what are you giving me advice? No, just hear me complain. What are you doing? It's crazy. Now, again, it's not always the case, but in most of the time in my day-to-day life, if people complain, I'm usually like, that sucks. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, that must be tough. Anyway, yep. And they have to literally sit down and say, hey, please give me the real stuff. And then I'll be like, are you sure? They're like, yeah. Then I'll give them advice. But if they don't say, please give me advice, it's usually, yeah, it sucks. Yeah. And you'll be surprised too how even people will ask, like, most people don't really want to change, and they're just looking to you just like a pacifier to feel better about their problems. Hey, look, I complained to this person, or Another way to feel good about your problems is this person gave me advice. They're not going to apply it, but because they received advice, they feel better. The same as if you have a problem, you might buy a course or read a book on it. You're like, see, I'm reading a book on it. Nothing's changing, but it makes you feel better about your problems. So it's sad. It's most people don't really want to change. And if you spend your time trying to help people who don't want to change, you're wasting all that energy on effort versus on those who are ready to change. Doesn't mean don't help them. I would say lead a horse to water, but only they have to do the drinking. You can't make them drink. Yeah.
Yeah, because I realize like sometimes I do too much for people, and like nobody does anything for me. And I'm not asking. Also, see that's
the other. Well, the other core belief I'd analyze there too is, am I good enough without helping people? That's a big one, especially for anyone who's a coach. I have a friend like this where you can leave it. It's fine. There's a friend where his value is always in helping others. So whenever I talk to him, even if I share some positive news, even if I'm not looking for any feedback, he will purposely look for, even if there's nothing wrong, things to be wrong so he can offer advice to feel valuable. Because in his mind, it's like, well, that's why you like me as a friend, right? And I'm like, you don't have to always give me advice, dude. I like you as you are. And he's like, well, no, but... So as a coach, it's easy to fall into that, where it's like, if I'm not coaching, it's like, well, would you like me just as me without the coaching? And that could be something to dive into as well. With authenticity, let this land, especially say at work or even when talking to someone, or even this event here. There's authenticity, meaning stay true to you, as we talked about. And that's a rule. Never betray you. But part of an interaction, part of connecting is authenticity expression and relatability connection. Where say right now, I'm like, hey everyone, for me to be authentic, I'm just going to speak in gibberish. The whole event. What would you all say? What the fuck is this? We're out. Hey, but I'm being authentic.
I want my money.
Right? Yeah, it'd be like, well, we're out of here. So that would be, say, me being authentic, but I'm not worried about it connecting. So then it's asking yourself, what is my intention, say, in an interaction? What's my intention at work? It's to be authentic, but also connect. I want the win-win versus win for me, lose for others. Now, sometimes you won't find the win-win. And that's where, okay, next, I'm out of here. But authenticity is also very nuanced, meaning what's authentic isn't just one thing all the time. Where, for example, say I were to call my parents. Say I called my mom right now, right? And just checked in. Hey, how you doing? Am I going to tell her all the details of my sex life? Yes or no? No. Does that mean I'm being fake?
No.
But I'm not telling her all the details. Am I being fake?
No.
Get it? So authenticity doesn't mean telling everyone everything. It means I'm never going to compromise me, but depending on the context, depending on the person, here's what I'm going to share. Or here's how much of me I'm going to share. Like, let's say I talk to a stranger, maybe I'll share 5% of me. But that 5% is going to be fucking authentic. I talk to a friend, maybe it's 50, 60, 80%, but it's going to be authentic. Talk to my wife, it's going to be 90%, 99% authentic. Talk to my mom, it's going to be 70% authentic. So it's always authentic, but you choose how much. Get it? But it's not going to be fake. It's always authentic. And then your job is to find in any situation what is authentic and relatable. Meaning right now, what's authentic? What we're talking about here. Like me talking about these ideas, the idea of authenticity. But there's a million other things I could talk about that's also authentic. I could talk about a movie I'm watching. And you're like, okay, well, this movie. I could talk about travels. I could talk about what went through my mind today. I could talk about anything. So there's a million things you could pick. So authenticity is not just this one thing. So the same as at work. It's like, well, within this context, how can I be authentic? What fits? Where I'm not compromising me, but I'm also not acting out of relatability with the circumstances or people. Again, sometimes it's impossible, but more often than not, get creative. There's a way.
Now, what you just watched here is just a small piece of a larger system and process. So what you want to do now is click this video here to see exactly what I'm talking about and how it all fits together.